Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. First, a word of thanks. I had an opportunity this week to run into someone who has heard about the Dollar Store Children's Sermons through another friend from Duluth, Minnesota, and thanks so much for watching, and just I wanted to take an opportunity to just thank you, because it's a reminder that we are the larger church, that we are gathered together as fellow Christians, fellow believers and workers for the gospel, and it's just wonderful. It warms my heart. It's really great. So thank you for those of you who watch faithfully or don't, that come in occasionally when you need that Saturday evening, Sunday morning help. Thanks for those who have donated. You can see this on YouTube, as some of you are watching on the Dollar Store Children's Sermon blog, which is dskidsermon.com. or on Facebook, and they're all linked back to this video. But really, thank you all for taking part in this ministry, and I appreciate it greatly. I appreciate you. So this is for the narrative lectionary, and we are in the Creed section. It's a series on the creeds and looking at different things, and this is looking at really the belief that Jesus is God. And I'm going to tackle it all today in a children's sermon. No, I'm not. What I am looking at, and they have two different directions on this about looking at Jesus as God, and that's true, and that Jesus also knows what we go through. It's the theology of the cross, as Luther would say, that in the cross and the resurrection, but especially on the cross, Jesus knows that we suffer and experiences the pain and the suffering that we go through. We have a God who sits with us in their ashes, and God sits with us in our pain and holds us and knows about that. And we believe that, and that's a belief that we hold strongly and securely. And I think it's one of those things that sets us apart, is that we have a God that walks with us in Psalm 23. You walk with me in the valleys of the shadow of death, and I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. And that's the promise, and that's a firm creed. And then that moves into Jesus Christ, when we believe that God moved into the neighborhood, or as the message puts, God tented among us in the Word and was the Word. So, this belief that Jesus is God, but that also that in that God knows our suffering and knows our pain. So the items I'm using to get at that is Band-Aids, Neosporin or some ointment that you put on the Band-Aid, maybe a tissue. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I've got some Band-Aids, I've got some ointment, I've got some I've got some ointment, and then I've got some tissue. Now, can anyone tell me what I would use these for, or why I would use these? And through directing, it's the idea that you've hurt yourself. I've scraped my knee. I've fell down and I cut my wrist. I have a scar here from when I was a little kid, and I was running up a mountain near our cabin in Montana, and I probably fell on the only piece of glass on the mountain, and it's one of those things that hurt, and I cried. And then using those items, then to talk about how we have a God that knows what we feel, and our God sits with us and holds us. And that's a firm belief. So that's a springboard as we look at what we believe about our God. And we believe our God knows us and loves us and feels the pain of the world. So, all right, I hope that can be a springboard for your own thinking. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.